Hi planner friends, it's Nia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a plan with me, a budget with me actually. This is to set up the August 2020 budget. So I have my Erin Condren monthly petite planner and the Erin Condren monthly planner. These two for me mirror each other, but I can get a little bit more in here because it's much bigger. I take the petite with me everywhere I go. It's nice to have my budget available should I need to look at it or see if I've paid something. Um, I have it with me on the go. So we're going to focus on this one. And just in the interest of time, I've gotten the bills already filled out for the month at a glance. I am going to go through my August goals. So the first goal for August is to, let's get a little closer, pay off $500 in debt. I don't know exactly what I'm going to pay. I need to figure that part out and reconcile some things first. I want to save $250, and I will break down that savings down here in just a moment. I have a goal for 1,000 in Etsy sales, and that does not mean 1,000 in income because Etsy does take out fees. So it's probably about $750 in income. I want to sell some things on Mercari or Poshmark, and I am setting a dollar amount this time as well, so I'd like to sell $250 worth of items. I want to do 15 no spin days in August, and so that's basically half of the month. And the last goal is to not use credit cards. And I have a few other goals, but they're related to other things like my business and whatnot. So I'm just going to put those here for this month. Then for my savings, let's see. So I don't know where I wrote it down. Let's see, did I write it down back here? I did not. We'll come back to it because I got to figure out where I put it. Oh, I know where it's at. Okay. So for savings, I want to save 50 to my car fund, 150 to my health and taxes account, 25 for vacation, because one day when Cousin Roro goes home, we going on vacation again. And then 25 to my home fund, which is for my dresser to finish out my bedroom. So that is a total of $250. I'm also separate from that looking to set aside $331 for Ashley Furniture. And the reason why is because they lowered my interest rate to 5% for 6 months. And 331 times 6 is almost what I owe them. I think it's a little bit more, but I want to set that aside and pay it off before the 6 months is up. So if I do it, great. If I don't, It's not a huge deal. So that's my savings goals for the month. So $250 plus an additional $331. So I have my month at a glance set up. This is where I like to check off items as I pay them. And so I've got that all set up, and just so that you can see what it looks like, we'll flip back to July. So as I pay a bill, I just put a little check mark in the box, and dish is paid. I don't know, I don't think YouTube came out. If it did, I didn't see it. It's an automatic payment though. So everything that I believe, except for maybe YouTube, is paid for the month of July. And I have another video recapping July, but that's what my month at a glance looks like as the month goes on and as it ends. Then in the back here, I have it set up for my budget, cash envelopes and sinking funds, a debt tracker, and a spending tracker. Again, in my larger planner, it does mirror. So I have the August month at a glance. I have, this is, the layout is a little bit different. So I have a nice little overview here of the budget, to-dos, goals, a little calendar, my savings goal, and then some August goals, and I'm still working on this dashboard page, so it's a work in progress. Then I have my income, my expenses, cash envelopes, sinking funds, debt tracker, spending tracker. The one thing I do add to this bigger planner, because again I have more space, is a business expenses page so that I can log any expenses that I have with my business here, and then a notes page because I have extra note paper to be able to do that. I don't have the extra note paper in the Petite planner, so I'm not able to pull on those extra pages in that way. Okay, so for our budget for this month, let's talk about income. I've shared in my previous videos that this month I was expecting a 10% pay cut. To be exact, it's supposed to be 9.23%. I work for the government. Y'all, they're a mess. They're a mess. By my calculation, my income should have gone from roughly take home 45.69. I estimated 42. The reason I estimated is, like, I work for a place where you don't ever know how much money you make, and I'm not exaggerating. It is exasperating, to say the least. You just really have no idea what they're doing until you get your check, because we are, for lack of a better term, quote unquote, furloughed, but we still work. So it's a pay cut, essentially, and you get time on the books to use at a later time. So they were supposed to offset with some things. People got their checks today. They were really mad because they made some payroll kerfunkles. So we will be getting a separate check now going forward for a healthcare reimbursement that was supposed to be included in our checks. And now they're going to give us a separate paycheck for it. It's $260, and they're going to tax it at the supplemental rate, which is 40%. I don't think healthcare should be taxed because my other healthcare deductions are all pre-tax deductions. So there's that. The other thing was the pay cut, furlough, whatever you want to call it, was not supposed to impact our pension. It did. They're working on fixing it. So I had about $600 less go towards my pension. That's an employer contribution. That's not my contribution. I had about $125 less for my contribution not go in because of the pay cut. So I'm not sure how that portion works. I'm assuming since I didn't actually contribute it, it just doesn't go. But I don't know, because it's not a voluntary contribution. It's a mandatory contribution. I don't know. The whole thing, y'all, I got an MBA, okay? I got an MBA. I have an MSL, Master's in Leadership, and a Master's of Business Administration. This math makes my head hurt. And the lack of transparency and knowing what is going on with my salary is just incredibly frustrating for me. And I've been here over 11 years and it's always been this way. So I guess it is what it is. I don't foresee it changing. Anyway, so I guesstimated my income to be $4,200. It was, I think, 43. I don't know. I don't even know what I did with the pay stub because I was irritated. So I can't even tell you. It's 43. I think it was 4301. I'm not really sure. And yeah, I didn't write it down anywhere. I think it's 43. And so I guess I'm getting another 260, but they're going to tax half of it, take half of it in taxes. So maybe 44.50, not sure. I probably, I think my goal would be to have, it's hard to say, for like other income, I know I should have $2,400 also taxed at the supplemental rate. So maybe $1,440 coming. That's for overtime. I am an exempt employee, so I don't normally get overtime, but because of Cousin Roro and being essential and working 12, 14-hour days, I am receiving some additional pay. When it's paid out is anybody's guess. Again, same employer, same problem. So I'm gonna budget it in $1,440 as if I expect it to come in the month of August, along with $750 for Etsy. And so that gives me $2,190. So I'm just going to round up to $2,200. And so that's what I expect for other income. And so we'll just say expected is $6,400. I know that my 42 is now wrong. The other thing that I had was a deduction from my paycheck for parking. I was able to, and so my check was actually $43.01 and 88 cents. Sorry, I'm off track. So, so I had a deduction for parking for $70. My parking situation is, in the area I work in, there's very limited parking. And so I've been on a list for about 8 years for a parking space. It's not free parking. You do still pay for it. But the spaces are very hard to come by. The one that I ended up with is actually pretty far away. But it's a space. So I don't have to take public transportation anymore, which was the most economic and inexpensive way for me to get to work each day. But I had not been doing that since March, since Cousin Roro came to visit. And essential workers were given free parking. And the free parking was supposed to end on July 15th. We all turned in our passes. I had gotten my space, so I was like, I'm still good. I don't have to pay every day. And then they extended the free parking. So I'm still in the free spot, even though I'm paying for this new spot, just because it's way closer. So that was a new deduction from my check as well. And so that's $70 that's now coming out of my paycheck every month. So what I expect to spend this month in expenses is $1,875 for housing. That is housing and utilities, and it fluctuates every month. $200 for SMUD, which is my electricity. $30 for PG&E, which is my gas. So the other utilities that are included in my housing are water, sewer, trash, and something else I don't remember. Insurance, car and home, $150, $379. $125 is for Sprint, which is my telephone and also my internet. $90 for Dish. $525 for CarMax. $25 for Barclay. Bank, $125 for IRS. $116.74 for a loan. $73 to Kohl's. $95 for a loan. $40 for PayPal, $20 for Ashley Furniture, $0 for Discover Card, although I will probably pay it off. I put a bunch of planner stuff on it in July. $25 for Capital One Quicksilver, $6.99 for Microsoft, $7.99 for Silhouette, $38 for the cloth and paper sub box, $36.75 for the Simply Gilded sub blocks, $35 for Overstock, $145 for Navy Federal, and $35 for Ulta. And then I have allotted $420 for cash envelopes for this month. So let's talk about sinking funds, and then we'll do cash envelopes last. So my sinking funds is the same thing as my savings that I have here. And so we're going to put $50 into the car fund. We are going to put $150 into this health and taxes fund. The Christmas fund is $5 bills, so we will know at the end of August how much we are putting in there. We are putting $25 into vacation. We are putting $0 into emergency, and we are putting $25 into home, and that should total $250. So that's two, so it does. And then I'm going to write in pencil, just as a reminder that I want to put $331 aside for the Ashley Furniture. Okay, so that's sinking funds for the month of August. Cash envelopes. So let's get a little closer here. So for cash envelopes, I have my Christmas envelope here, and it has $20 in it. And I had $100. I deposited that into my bank account because I used it to purchase my camera. I purchased a Canon M50 basically for YouTube and for some other stuff as well, but primarily for YouTube. So I used the $5 bills to put towards the cost of the camera. And there's a separate video on the camera and the cost and everything. So then I started over, and this went back to being my Christmas envelope instead of my camera envelope. So I have $20 in here so far, and then when we go through the other cash envelopes, I'll remove all of the 5s from there, and I should end up with 45, which is what's here. So to start with, we'll start with the easy ones where I know I did not spend anything. So in my clothing envelope, I have $40, and that is for the last 2 months. Today I am adding $10, and so here is a $10 bill, and we're going to add this on here. So August 1st, we're adding $10, and that will give us a new total of $50. So my clothing envelope now has $50 in it. I'm trying to figure out, I think I liked the way I did it last month. So clothing is $10. But I'm going to put here in a different color 50 in parentheses because that's how much is actually in my envelope. Okay, so for beauty, I had $10 the last 2 months. I haven't spent any of it. I am going to add $10 to this envelope. And that will bring me to 30. All right, so again, I'm going to put $10 here, but then I'm going to put in parentheses 30 because that's how much is in the envelope. So I'm budgeting $10 for the month, but my envelope, because I have not spent anything in it, or because I have money being carried over, actually has a little bit extra. Okay, so my fun envelope is another one where I have not spent anything because Cousin Roro does not like to have fun. She likes for us to sit in the house. Although, I mean, at this point, Amazon is fun. I just go in there and buy stuff I don't need. So, for this month, I have $10 going to fun. And I have $30 left over in this envelope. So, my new balance is 40. I'm going to have an amazing time when I can go outside and play again. All right, so $40 in my fun envelope. I have a new category for sinking funds, and that is the butcher. I did spend $159 in July at the butcher. That was my first time doing that. I have a whole lot of meat now. I got 6 pounds of ground beef, 6 pounds of chicken, 10 pounds of steak, 5 pounds of party wings, 5 pounds of spare ribs, 5 pounds of pork chops, 2 pounds of bacon. It was more than 40 pounds of meat. So my freezer is full. It actually can't hold everything. So I have some stored elsewhere. And I probably will not get that much again, but I did put it on a credit card. So the next time I go, I want to use cash. And so I'm going to start a sinking fund for it. I don't have any extra envelopes handy, but I am putting $40 in my butcher envelope this month. And I'm just going to set this $40 aside until I can get an envelope to put it in. So that's that. The next group is pet. So in my pet envelope, I have $6. And that is because I had $20 and I spent $14 and some change on dog food. I don't put my change in the envelope. I round up or down or whatever tickles my fancy. A lot of times I will, whatever the cost of the item is, like this was $14.13. I more than likely had the 13 cents in my wallet and paid the 13 cents. So that's usually what I do. I have some sort of change with me and I will give exact change when I pay. So my change, or the amount that I had left in my envelope, is $6. Of course, I'm going to take the $5 bill out to add to my Christmas envelope, leaving me with $1 in my pet envelope. I am adding $10 to my pet envelope. So we will put that here, and that brings this envelope to $11. Okay. All right, so now we get to the ones with a little bit more substance. So we have our gas envelope, and this is gas for the car. So I started with 100 this month. I have $20 left over. And so I am adding $80 to my gas envelope. And I'm actually I'm gonna use a new sheet because I'll run out of space. So we will do $20 as a balance forward, and we are putting $80 in today, giving me $100. I'm basically spending about $20 a week on gas, which I think is pretty good. But I'm also not going anywhere because, you know, Cousin Roro don't like to go anywhere, so we stay home. Okay, so we've got 20, 40, 60, 80 for a total of 100, including the 20 that was left over. So that's $20 going into my gas envelope. Next envelope we have is household. And in my household envelope, I have $5 left over, and it is a $5 bill, so I'm going to set that aside. And we will start a new sheet for household, and we are going to do $50. So we have 20, 40, 50. And that is in the household envelope. Right? The next one is dining out. So I'm going to have a handful of receipts in here. I'm going to set all those aside because I have logged everything. And I have a $5 bill, so I'm going to add that to the pile. And then in this envelope, I have $18, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we're going to start a new sheet because we're on the back of that one. And this is my dining out. And for dining out, we are adding $60. So 20, 40, 60 plus the 18 brings me to 78. When I tried the 50, that was not enough. So it was nice that I had some left over this month. And maybe we will reduce next month. But I do like to eat out, so that's the only place I get to go. All right, last envelope is groceries. And because I really don't need to buy much meat, I did reduce that this month. So last month we did $200, and we've got a couple of fives here, so I'm going to set those aside. I should have $44, so 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, and we will get a new sheet for groceries. Okay, and I have 150 that I am adding to the grocery envelope, and I need to actually swap out. I don't have any more tins. So I need to swap out of, I think, my clothing. Nope. What about fun? I need to swap, yeah, 2 tins from somewhere. Fun's not gonna do it. Beauty. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 tins out of Beauty and put a 20 in instead. And then we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 50. And that will give me 194, which I think will be more than enough for groceries, because I should need to buy very, very little meat. Okay, so, and I forgot to write these down. So, groceries, I budgeted 150, but I have 194. Household, I budgeted 50, and that's what I have. Dining out, I budgeted 60, and I have 78. That was the wrong color. Gas, I budgeted 80, and I have 100. And pet, I budgeted 10. And I think I have 11 in my pet envelope. I do. Okay. And then finally, our Christmas envelope should have $45 total. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And I have shared before, for me, Christmas is not a, it's not very expensive, because I'm not really buying, I don't have kids, I'm not buying a whole bunch of stuff. I typically buy a present for my mom at this point, and we do something nice as far as dinner. That might be a little bit more pricey than normal, like we do prime rib or seafood or something like that. And so for me, for Christmas envelope, $200 is probably the maximum that I need. So if I get that saved up pretty quick in the next month or so, then I will reallocate those funds to something else. So I'll set aside the money for Christmas, and then I will start using because I want to continue to save the $5 bills. I'll start saving those for something else to be determined. So that is my budget for this month. Again, you have the monthly overview here, my goals, my savings goals. And then in the back, we have the August budget, income and expenses. This is not every expense, but this is my fixed expenses, and then some of, it's just basically every important expense. There's a few other things that are not on here, but they are in the bigger planner that has more space. got my cash envelopes set up and I'm ready to go for the month of August. I have my sinking fund set up for the month of August with my savings plan of $250 plus that additional $331 if possible. And we'll just see where the month takes us. So the next video will be the August mid-month check-in. For this video, I hope you got some savings ideas. I hope you got some budgeting ideas. I think that, for example, using a butcher is like a really great way to save money and buy meat in bulk. So hopefully that sharing that idea was helpful for someone as well. Cash envelopes really help me stay on track, and so hopefully you can take something away from that as well. I need to really set up a cash envelope for planner stuff and stick to it, because I spent an insane amount on planner stuff in July, and so that's why I have the 15 no spend days in August to sort of curb some of that. But cash envelopes have been working really, really well for me. If you're interested in purchasing cash envelopes, you can find them in my Etsy store, Studio Bliss Co. And sinking funds are very helpful for me as well. One other thing that I do want to share is my car sinking fund has $308.37 in it. My car registration is due on the 26th of August. It is $288. So that $288 does not have to come out of my income for the month. It is going to come from the sinking fund. I have been saving for that, not just that, but for like car repair. I went and had my oil changed and it came out of the same sinking fund. And that has really been a relief on me. And I know that probably sounds weird because I spend an exorbitant amount of money on planner crap, but stickers and stuff. But I have more money to spend on planner stuff because I budgeted for car stuff and adulting. Not really, but kind of. So just, I recommend setting up the sinking funds. I don't have to worry about having to take $288 out of my budget because I've saved for it. I've taken it out of my budget a little bit at a time by using the sinking fund. And so now the money is there. All I have to do is log into the DMV website and make the payment. And so I probably will do that tomorrow. So that's one, more thing off my plate. The other thing I plan to do is probably half of these savings items I am going to do tomorrow, because I don't pay myself first. I usually pay myself last. And when I pay myself last, I don't pay myself because there's nothing left. So what I will do sometimes is like wait until Etsy money comes in or side hustle money comes in, and then I'll pay myself through that. But I want to, get my savings off to a good start at the beginning of the month. So I think I'm going to pay myself first, at least on a few of these categories tomorrow. So that's something else that I'm, just sort of shifting my mindset on and working to do differently. I really want to work smarter, not harder. So I don't know. I'm enjoying chit-chatting with you and sharing my budget and being transparent, and you all hold me accountable. I'm very grateful for my planner community. So if you've hung out with me this long, because this video is way longer than I intended, thank you so much for sticking with me. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I will have more for you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.